Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am great. How are you?
All right, so we are going to talk to our Movin' and Shakin' Monday Groovin' peeps. We're going to talk to them today about, show the picture, the race for red.
How to move and groove.
Huh?
How to move and groove.
Moving and grooving into red. So yesterday I was at this wonderful brunch, and one of the directors did this really cool analysis. And she said that when you're moving forward in your business, each foot represents part of your business. The left foot represents selling the product, sharing the product. The right foot represents sharing the career opportunity. Now, if you stand up and you try to walk, but you only move one foot, you just keep going in circles. If you're just selling, you're just going in a circle, which that's okay. And if you're just team building, you're going in a circle. But if you're using both feet, you're moving your business forward. Love that. Thank you, Birdie, for that great analogy. So we're going to start with the first lesson of the race spread. What I want you guys to do is I want you to, you're going to have to be doing this at home on your own, but what I want you to do is we're going to focus on week 1. And what you do is you go to InTouch, go to Consultant Education, then click on Race for Red. Watch the introduction. It is wonderful. It's all about be, do, and have. And I want to just talk about that really quickly. Be, do, and have. So many of us say, if I become a director, I will have everything I want and I will be happy. But what we want you to do is we want you to have a shift there. And I want you to be happy in the journey. Be happy as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're getting the yeses, as you're getting the nos. Be happy. Be in the journey. Do the work and you'll have what you want. So it's a little bit of a mind shift there. And it's really helping you embrace each step of the way as you move that left foot and that right foot and moving your business forward. So I want y'all to be thinking this week about really what is your why? And we talk about our why a lot because when you own your own business, your why is what's going to get you up every day. Your why is what's going to drive you. Andrea, what are one of your really strong whys? What has taken you through all these moves, being married to a military husband, 3 kids, all the blessings and the challenges that come in that? What is that why that just stays with you?
Well, this is a little bit deeper because I've worked on it, but I realized that my internal why is that I'm just driven to be great. Like, and I'm not there yet. It's a journey, but I can't seem to quit. It's just not in my nature. And so I've always had that why of how can I help people more? How can I teach and lead people more at a higher level? And so it allows, I believe, you to get excited about the challenges that are coming. If you think there's none, you're going to set yourself up for failure. And actually, one thing I wanted to say is you'll be most happy. Like, how do you be happy when, you know, it's not going the way you planned? Well, we have to be excited, of course, of our why, and also be excited to have those failures. We must have that mind shift. How can I fail forward today? How can I fail forward? Woo, I had a failing, but I'm moving forward. Yay, celebrate. I want to fail forward. And I think that keeps my why strong because I know that it's not going to be perfect, but I can help others if I don't quit, and I can get excited about failing forward.
And another thing too, in the whole journey, you guys, your why may change. Andrea's why today is much different from what her why was when she was a single captain in the military. My why when I first started 27 years ago, yes, I was in the early acceptance program. They recruited me when I was 10. But my why back then was to make money and pay bills. Then my why became so I could stay home with my baby. Then my why became so I could have financial freedom. So my why did change and it evolved. but my why was always very strong in the forefront of my mind. And it was very visual around me. What I wanted to be, what I wanted to have, and the sphere of influence that I wanted to be able to experience. And that's one thing that Andrea and I have the real blessing to be able to do right now, is have a very large sphere of influence. And you will find that kind of becomes your why as well. And when Andrea said, I want to help people, that's an amazing, you sound like I want to be Miss America, I want to help people, but really, isn't that what we're called to do? The Holy Scriptures tell us that we are designed to lift each other up. We are designed to work in tandem together. So I think that that's a beautiful why, and I just highly endorse that, Andrea. I love that. Okay, so as you're thinking about your why, I want you to remember that joy and happiness is a choice. I can get up in the morning and say, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Oh, I just don't feel good. And by the end of the day, I'm not going to feel good. And I'm not going to have gotten anything done. But I can get up in the morning and say, I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing happiness. I'm choosing growth today. You make that choice every day. Your body may not always feel like it, but your mind can overcome your body in so many ways. The mind is so much more powerful. Okay, so I have to let y'all in on a little secret. Last night, my husband and I kind of had a date night. We're not 75 years old, but we went to dinner at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The restaurant was packed, but we got home and we started flipping channels, and we caught the kind of the very first 20 minutes to the end of the movie Ghost. And I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but in the beginning, Patrick Swayze gets killed. So there's no blowing of the plot there. But there's another ghost that's teaching him how to move things in the real world. And he says, you got to reach down and you got to take all your heart and all your mind and all your soul, and it's got to come up from your gut and you force it out. It's your mind. Your body doesn't exist anymore. It's your mind. And of course, I immediately started thinking about how many speakers we've had, including Andrea, who has spoken so many times about the power of the brain and the power of the mind. So as you're doing this first week, I really want you to spend some time reflecting, some time really thinking, and, just kind of being in the moment, taking some notes, writing some things down, and come up with your own affirmation statement and your own why. I took Andrea and mine's affirmation statements to the Dream Center this week, and I taught the girls how to create affirmations. And my affirmation is very different from Andrea's, but they loved both of them. And then we helped them create affirmations as well, and being strong and being powerful. And that was so awesome. So I want to encourage you with your why, start developing your affirmation, your mission statement about what you are, what you will be, what you will have, and where you see yourself in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, because we're here for life. We're pink for life. All right, the 4 things that you're going to be doing this week in your Race for Red week 1 is, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write a letter to your future self. Now, this letter to your future self is between you and yourself, okay? You do not have to share this with anybody, but it might be something you want to write yourself and then put it up next to your computer or put it somewhere where you can see it, because I think that's important that you have that in front of you. And this is going to be all about your why. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to write yourself a paycheck. I love this. What is your dream commission check? Your dream commission check. And I want you to take into consideration how much you did in sales that week or that month. How many new people you brought onto your team. When we bring people onto our team, we duplicate ourselves. When I recruited Andrea Dambacon, who is now Andrea Dambacon Zajac, I was duplicating myself. Now, I was duplicating myself in the form of this adorable little blonde captain in the Army, but I was still duplicating myself. So now I would hold a party, she's holding a party, then she duplicated herself through over 100 people. I was duplicating myself through over over 100 people. Now we've got people all over the country that are making money, that are holding these shows and these parties, that are building their businesses, and we're duplicating ourselves. It's not that I'm trying to get somebody to do something they don't want to do. I didn't try to get Andrea to do something she didn't want to do. I brought her into a positive, creative, supportive atmosphere that was like nothing she had ever witnessed before. But if the night I had met her, I would have said, Andrea, you're not going to believe this, but in the next few years, you're going to become such a part of the Mary Kay culture that it's going to become ingrained in your life. She would have been like, what am I drinking, the pink Kool-Aid? So you really want to take that step by step. So many times we see things in other people. We see things in you guys that we're like, oh my gosh, I see you as a top director. I see you as $1 million director. I see you as a trip director. I see you driving your free car up to your old job and going, ha, 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 I told you I could do it. But you know what? We're going to take this first step of the red jacket. And then I want you to think, yeah.
You made me think of something really, I think, a great analogy when you said that. I just got back from an amazing leadership conference, but I've watched Stephen Furtick, who started Elevation Church, and then our speaker was Greg Groeschel, who's another wonderful pastor. And what you just said was exactly, so I want to give you an idea. Imagine that pastor who has a vision, now with technology, wanting to have a satellite. Oh my gosh, we could have a satellite and we could touch more lives. We can get our mission and our vision across to more people, but I need somebody to be able to man the satellite. I need somebody to be able to do the audiovisual, somebody who has the same heart that I have so we can touch more people and spread the gospel. Y'all, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what Joanna did when she asked me to be a part of this company. I could have said no. I almost said no. But in my gut, I made the decision for me. And I started to grow in my confidence because I was totally listening to other people and making my decisions based on their opinion. So it allowed me to grow. So just think of yourself as, if you are in the spiritual realm, you're a pastor wanting to have satellite areas, arenas to spread the gospel, to spread the good news of women are empowered in this company.
And to pass it on. Mary Kay used to always say that to us, pass it on. And you guys, just like our customers, team members may be here for a season, for a small reason, or for a lifetime. That is not your success or your failure. Your job is to share. Our job is to share the product and the career opportunity. And it's up to them to accept it or to move on to something else. So don't take it personally. It's hard, but don't take it personally. Okay, so you're going to write your commission check. And then the third thing is a little bit deeper. And this is where you're going to think about your SWOT. Now, I'm not talking about we got bugs and we're swatting at them, okay? We're not swatting at things. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I'm just going to run through those real quick. But the lesson on SWOT, we'll go into just about a 4 or 5 minute clip, and a clip where it describes it. But basically, your S stands for your strengths. Your strengths. What are your strengths? And you guys, be honest with yourself. What are your strengths? Do you have good people skills? Are you very organized? Do you love to talk? Do you love to make new friends? What are your strengths? And it can be internal, it can be external, whatever. You might say one of my strengths is I'm tall. I'm almost 6 feet tall. People notice me. Well, that's a strength. Okay, that is a powerful thing. It might be that, I get a lot of compliments on my smile or my hair or my beautiful children. That is a strength. Anything that builds you up in a positive way is a strength. And then, of course, the internal. I am a people person. I'm excited. I'm coachable, teachable, trainable. That's huge too. Okay? Weaknesses. What are the things that you might want to work on a little bit? Most people immediately say procrastination. I call it creative avoidance. Okay. So many times when you could be making those phone calls, you think, well, I really need to get the laundry done. Once I get the laundry done, I'll make my phone calls. Well, I really need to run to the grocery store. Once I go to the grocery store, I'll make my phone calls. Well, that's creative avoidance. Do your Mary Kay work Then do the other things that are the creative avoidance things. And you're going to feel so much better about your work. Other weaknesses you might have, you might say, I'm so disorganized. I'm so disorganized. Okay, guys, I want to tell you something. If you're super disorganized, if you feel like everything's a mess all the time, streamline it. You probably have too much stuff. Just streamline it. Rena Tarbutt used to say she touched every piece of paper 2 times, one to open it and the second to either throw it away or file it. Okay? So you don't need to keep hanging on to all this stuff. Get yourself streamlined and focused. So think about what your weaknesses are. Then your opportunities. How can you use your strengths and your weaknesses to create opportunities for yourself? If you know that you have good people skills, but you tend to put things off, then make part of your 6 most important things list to meet 5 people and follow up with them. Okay, y'all, follow up is the key. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Now, I was about to have Andrea tell you what happened to her this morning, but she stepped away. So we'll just give her a minute to come right back. And that is so important, though, that you follow up. And it's important that when you meet someone new, that you follow up. You know, we used to say within 24 hours. In today's world of technology, you can follow up immediately. Immediately. You can meet someone and you can immediately schedule that appointment. So, Andrea, do me a favor and tell everybody what happened this morning, because you did a great job of getting a name, speaking with them, connecting, and doing an immediate follow-up to schedule that appointment.
Sure, sure. So I decided to look cute going to church. I don't always care that much about throwing something on and going to church. And as I was leaving, of course, my energy's great. I just got to celebrate God. And this lovely lady that I smiled to on the way in, she was one of the ushers, complimented my outfit. So I appreciated her. I had another friend on my other side, and I said, thank you. And then I went to get my donut. I had a bite. And I got, of course, to the car. I said, kids, I'm going to turn the car on. I got to find a pen. I'm going back to meet her. And so, of course, kids are always used to that. And I always call this my pink hug, giving somebody a loving, just some kind of a nice gesture or a smile, and then not throwing Mary Kay on them. Don't be scary Kay. But then I come back later and greet that person. So I came back and I said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you haven't left. Your smile was radiant and you were so kind to me. I'm always attracted to kind, beautiful women to put in my portfolio. I'm a director with Mary Kay. Would you be offended if I gave you a beauty experience and got your feedback? She said, no, that sounds amazing. So I said, oh, okay, let's exchange numbers. And I told her I wasn't prepared. So I had my bulletin. I'm like, I'm not really prepared for this. And she laughed. And of course, that's expected. If I was prepared, she'd probably be like, ugh. So I said, what do you do during the day? And she said, well, I'm a physician at the same hospital my husband used to work at. So I said, oh my gosh, we have things in common. I will follow up with you later today. So I did. And she just texted me actually a second ago. And she said, let me tell you what I text. I give a little nice to meet you at where I met her. And I like to send the link of a beauty experience. I keep them on my phone. They're at my website. Sorry, they're at my Facebook page, but it's just that 2-minute what is a beauty experience so they can watch it. And it has women of all shapes, sizes, and backgrounds. And then, of course, I put my little picture of myself, and she responded, I'd be happy to come to your home studio. And she gave me the dates that work. So, boom, full circle, because I was prepared. I focus on my strengths, and I have something later I want to tell you about based on this book, Jo. And it was a wonderful morning so far. I'm excited for the rest of the day.
And that immediate follow-up, you guys. So many times we don't do that immediate follow-up. You've got to do it immediately. Don't wait 24 hours anymore. Do it within 24 minutes. All right, then the 4th quadrant, and I just wanted to show y'all, this is the page I'm working on. The 4th quadrant is the threats. Now, they talk about the threats being things that might threaten your stability. You may have to change in some ways. You may have to make some adaptations in some ways to accommodate this program, to accommodate your business growth. I also think of threats as, sorry, but a threat can be your own family. A threat can be your job. A threat can be how busy you are. with kids and with husbands and with craziness all the time.
Like limitations.
Any kind of limitation.
Yeah, that could be a threat.
So I don't think of it as a threat, like I have a gun to my head, but it's things that are going to influence your business and steer it in a way that may be out of your control. So I don't want you to get frustrated with the things that are out of your control. Use them as opportunities. I've got to haul the kids around every afternoon. Then use that as an opportunity to offer handshakes to people, to hand out your business card, to meet and greet, to just give people pink hugs. Oh, my husband says I have to have dinner on the table every night. That was Cindy Williams' story for years and years, national sales director. She had to have dinner on the table at a certain time. Yeah. And you know what? I used to say, oh, tell those men to go cook for themselves. But you know what? The first marriage didn't work out. So with the second marriage, I got to say, you know what? Teamwork makes the dream work. So you know what? If that dinner time is important to your spouse or to your partner, if that dinner time is important to your children, that connecting kind of time in the day, then I had completely withdrawn all those criticisms and said that does have to be important. But then you have to teach them to be observant and to be respectful of your time when you're working your business. So it's a two-way street. Also, what is going to stop you? What's going to stop you up here? What's going to stop you right here? When you start to talk to somebody and you start stumbling over your words, what is causing that? Usually it's because you've made it about you instead of making it about them. And I know I talked about, a couple weeks ago, I said I would teach y'all some of the David Cooper scripts, but they are on our websites. But I just want to tell you that one of the things David Cooper teaches us to focus on is how the other person feels, what the other person needs. Is there any reason why we couldn't get together? I love what Andrea just said about, would you be offended if I offered you my card? I would kick myself all the way home if I didn't offer you my information or offer you a beauty experience. You are so stinking sharp. And you guys, you can use these words, you can use these scripts because, Andrea is a young, gorgeous mother in California. I'm on a little bit opposite end of the spectrum where I don't have small kids anymore, and I'm hanging out with a little bit older crowd. Some of you guys super young. We heard from people at seminar, 19, 20-year-olds who they're walking up to anybody, no fear. It's just awesome. I love the no fear part. So, you've just got to work with the circumstances that you're in right then. We've heard from $1 million directors who live in little teeny weeny towns and they had to drive 20 miles for every single party. And we've heard from people who live in huge cities that say they feel lost because there's so many people. So you know what, whatever your circumstance is, bloom where you're planted. I think that's very important. And then the last thing.
Can we talk for a second? I
you want to talk about you want to talk about that?
Yeah, because this is good stuff. I mean, you guys, at the end, I do want to add in something about all of it. On the website, we've got these different lessons that you guys are going to work on. But the SWOT is easy to say, I don't have any strengths. I know some of you guys are right now going, I don't know if I have any strengths. I don't know how to talk to people. And I mean, I have family and I don't work. And you're already coming up with more weaknesses. So I just want to give you an opportunity the weaknesses are always going to be there. But we want to find your strengths and help you find your strengths. And you might need to do a little extra homework. This is a great, great author. I want to say he might even be at 3.0 now. But you want to learn that you already have God-given strengths, but we just need to rediscover them. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy to say, well, I don't necessarily lead a top unit and I'm not driving a pink Cadillac. Are you constantly showing up for your marriage? Okay, you've resolved. A lot of people quit on their kids or quit on their family. Okay, let's find what your strengths are. And so it might be a little bit harder because you're going to come up with all the negative. That's how we're trained to do. So I really wanted to go back to the S needs to be huge. And don't worry about the W. Keep it small. Go work on, you know what, we all have things, and of course we do need to work on them. But we want you to get those S's as big as possible. Really important. And then that threat, many a times, as Jo said, those are limiting thoughts. I just invite you to chime in and join my 21-day mind shift happens, because the hardest thing, as we said at the seminar, is a threat. You're trying to do something great for your family, and then your kid says, you're not a good mom because dinner's not on the table and you haven't packed my bags. And all of a sudden you're feeling the threat in your heart because your own identity has been hurt. But it's not that your children believe that. It's just that's their only method of trying to not change, not trying to grow up. So those are threats. And so we want to help encourage you, but get excited about those challenges that are coming. Don't act like, what's wrong with me? I have a challenge. I want you to expect that you're going to have a lot of stuff coming at you because you've said yes to God and you've said yes to his higher vision, but it doesn't mean that there's not going to be any challenge. So I just want to encourage you to focus more on the S's. Yes, there'll be W's, but look at that threat as, okay, Lord, this is me being able to surrender more.
Okay, and then working on the fourth part of the lesson, which is the critical inch. Mary Kay used to say, inch by inch, it's a cinch, yard by yard, it can get hard. So the critical inch is basically, how are these acknowledgments, how is the letter, how is everything that you're working on up here and in here, how is that going to positively affect your business and your life? Acknowledging what those things are and then setting the 5 areas of focus that will help you achieve your goal. And it might be to hand out 5 business cards a day and follow up. It might be to do 30 faces, to schedule 30 faces. It might be to spend at least 15 minutes a day in a quiet time, in a devotional time. What are the 5 areas, excuse me, that you really want to work on? And then once you accomplish those 5 things, you immediately write your next goal. You see that? It's right there. Immediately you write your next goal. So you do your critical inch, you accomplish that, and immediately you go to the next goal. Okay, so that's super important too, those goals that you're setting for yourself. I recommend that you get a 3-ring binder. You can just get one of those little flimsy ones from Walmart or something, just something soft that you can just stick on the side of your desk. I recommend you get it in red. And do a 3-hole punch and go ahead and start putting together your notebook for your Race for Red. Now, the way you're going to let us know that you watched Movin' Groovin' Monday is we would love to see a picture of one of these pages that you will post on our Facebook page. If it's too personal and you don't want to post it on the Facebook page, that is fine. You can just text it, Voxer it, send any kind of photo to your director, and we will give you credit for this Movin' and Groovin' accountability. But whatever page you want to send, whether it's your SWOT analysis, your critical inch, your paycheck, your letter to yourself, whatever you want to do. And you can even do your letter to your future self and kind of fold it up so we can't read it if you want to keep it personal. But posting that or sending it to your director is how you're going to stay in the Consistency Club. Okay, Andrea, do you have any other words you want to share today?
I do. So, okay, you guys, there's a lot of great stuff here. Oh, I know you want to get going, but guess what? You're going to hang up, and maybe last week you were on the call, you hung up, you didn't actually implement. So right now I'm going to encourage you. I'm not going to shut up until you get out your date book. Get out your date book. I'm not moving. Okay, you got our Tuesday night call already scheduled because you're already women who are expecting success. So I assume that. But number 1 lesson has a 20-second introduction and then an activity that could take you maybe 30 minutes, maybe longer. When are you going to put that in your schedule? Okay, now are you going to do it on Monday, afternoon, evening? Or is Monday already gone because you're watching us and now you're going to do it Tuesday morning? I had to make a decision to be great. I had to do something different if I wanted to have something different in my future. Yeah. I started to wake up earlier to get my Mary Kay education in. So when are you going to do lesson 1? Okay, I'm not going to shut up until it's on your date book. Okay? Okay, I would say do it today. Okay, so now let's go to lesson 2. Okay, lesson 2, Joanna said, is your commission check. That shouldn't take too long, but I really want you to say, I don't think you should just say $54,000 until you actually start to say, what could I actually have as a vision that I want to have come true, not pie in the sky, like something that I can actually make happen because I'm helping enough other people. Okay, it's probably going to take you about 10 minutes. When do you have 10 minutes same day or Wednesday. Okay, let's go to number 3. This one's going to take you a little while. This one has a 1-and-30-second analysis, little video, and then you're going to have to think. Now, I don't know about you, but it's hard to think when I got my kids right after school and all that. So when is it going to happen? I think too many of you are saying, I'm going to be a star, I'm going to be this. When is it going to happen? If you're not scheduling it, not waking up early with purpose, gang, it's not going to happen. I got to close with this. I had a dream the other night, and this is God really telling me. I had a dream, and one of my best friends, Joanna, finished her trip. I was so excited for her. But guess what? I was in tears. Have you ever woken up from a sleeping dream? Like, I cried in my dream. And you know what my God said in my dream? You thought you were going to win the trip, and you didn't work. Ow. Like, what does that say about, that is, I believe, truly an opportunity. It's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that I haven't worked. But are we expecting something and not excited to do the work? That's called entitlement, you guys. So
that's good.
You decide if you want to be somebody who did what it took and you earned it, or you just think you should be given it.
And I want you guys, I want to end with this, because we're trying to keep these at 30 to 40 minutes, but I just want to end with this, that first off, when you share your goals with us, then we can help you track that, and we can help encourage you and support you in that. But the second thing is, and this is what I talked about yesterday at our brunch, is if you're not sharing the product and sharing the career opportunity, you're being selfish. You're making it all about you. And even as little girls, we're taught share, share, share. What do you learn as a toddler? Share your toys. What do you learn in kindergarten? Share your crayons. What do we learn as we grow up? Share your heart. Share your energy. Share. And Mary Kay, like I said earlier, said pass it on. So I want to challenge you guys to schedule out when you're going to do your Race for Red. And don't make it during times when you can do IPAs. Get up earlier or stay up a little bit later. Now, I have found personally that if I try to do goal setting and dream casting before I go to bed, sleep comes hard. So I would recommend you get up a few minutes early in the morning. Don't get on Facebook. Don't jump on your computer. Have your red notebook there next to your coffee cup. Watch the sun come up and really work on you. And then starting next week in the Race for Red, we're going to start working on the outside of you and your work ethic. You guys have an amazing week. Can't wait to see your results posted on Facebook or to us privately. Have a wonderful Monday, and let's move and groove through this week.